Well, hello there, Tarot Tribe. Welcome everyone in. It's been a couple weeks, but thank you all for showing up. And we're starting right now. And I see a lot of regulars here and a few new people. So, just so you know how this works, we will begin our evening with a group reading to read energy and messages for wisdom for our group here tonight. And then we will continue on to individual mini tarot readings for each of you. We have a few people already queued up. So if you would like a reading, just type exclamation reading in the chat. And my wonderful wife and moderator, Candy Hearts Art, will add you to the queue, and we'll go from there. And if you're new here and you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, click the bell icon so that you always know when I go live. And you're also welcome to leave a donation at the link in the chat that Nightbot has spammed to the chat. So donations are always appreciated, but certainly not expected. So it's been a while. I hope everyone's been well. I'm sorry I haven't been back in a couple of weeks, but just had a lot going on. And while we're here, let me adjust this a little bit. There we go. Now you can see me a little better. That's better. Okay. Okay, we're already getting all our readings in. Great. Just keep the list up to date. So let me just get the list updated, and then I will pull our cards for the week. Really, a couple weeks, because we did miss a week or so. So welcome in, Speak Knowledge, Misty. I saw Panya in here. Welcome in, Priscilla. And we had a new face earlier, right at the beginning. Hi there, 555. I don't remember you, but if you would like a reading, please just put your request in the chat, and we will be happy to do that. Before we even pull cards, though, let's clear the air and the energy for us, so that our messages from Spirit are clear. Okay. Tea is good today. Okay. I think for our group reading, we will just start with the classic, shiny Rider-Waite tarot deck. Let's switch to the split cam so we can see our cards. That's really nice. Oh, and tonight, I always go through this. So tonight, I will be pulling cards from the classic Rider-Waite tarot deck, as you know, one of my favorites. Tonight, I'll also be using, this is probably one of the newer decks. I've had it for a while, but we're just starting to read from it. This is the Phantasma deck. It's quite lovely. We had some nice readings with that a couple of weeks ago. And then my other favorite, it might be my favorite, the Crow deck. And if you have one that you'd specifically like, just speak up in the chat. And if not, I'll be happy to choose a deck for you that feels aligned with your energy. So, but first and foremost, what wisdom does Spirit have for us, for our group tonight, to carry us forward? It's been an exciting April. A lot of big sort of astrological things going on. A lot of progress and energy sort of opening up, moving forward with things after the sort of shedding of old things that we saw at the beginning of the year, and how appropriate for spring. So Okay. I'll pull a few cards for us and see. Five of Cups, Nine of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. I'm going to pull one more, I think. And Four of Cups. Okay. That's some very interesting stuff here. So, there's an overall theme for us going forward in the next week, few weeks. And it's to be mindful, to not lose sight of the things that we have. There are some ideas and feelings coming to us, some inspirations. The universe is trying to bring something to us, and we are sort of fixated on other things. So we need to take a step back from that and really center ourselves and be grounded, so that we can pick up on this new message. And a lot of that new message is about letting go of some things. The Five of Cups here is like this card of discontentment. And so going along with the Four of Cups, it is a bit of a progression, from sort of losing sight of this thing that we haven't been tending to. And it's a very sort of emotional thing in our lives. Some feelings, some past experiences that we've kind of just pushed out, that we have kind of just put aside and not really thought about or processed or felt our way through. And so that's leading to some discontentment. The thing that we think we are discontent about, we're unhappy about, isn't really the thing. It's this deeper underlying thing that is showing up as frustration with maybe a job or a relationship or something like that. But the real deeper problem isn't the job, and it isn't the relationship, or whatever the thing that you think it is. It's not. It's something deeper. It's something from your past. It's probably something from childhood. And this is what we need to address. And as we move forward in the next couple weeks, if we don't really sit with this and we don't give this some time and give this some care, it's really going to start to mess with us even more. So it's going to go from just feeling agitated or unhappy with things, or just general like something's wrong or not right, to some really sleepless nights. And that's the Nine of Swords is absolutely that. So this is going to turn into like obsessive thoughts, a lot of sort of negative thought and ideas, and a lot of just that sort of dark night of the soul. So we have to go and we have to give care to that thing. And we have to do so with love. We have to go to whatever that thing is, whatever the past trauma, those bad or sad feelings or angry feelings, whatever they are. We have to take time with them. We have to allow ourselves to feel them. And that's why they're festering, because we never fully allowed that to happen. So give yourself space, time, and grace to do that. Let yourself feel that sadness or that anger or whatever's coming up, and express it in safe and healthy ways. If you're angry, get out into nature somewhere where you're not real close to everyone and scream at the trees. If you can't do that, go to, scream into a pillow. If you're at home, you don't want to, scare everybody, scare your roommates or whatever. Go to a rage room, do a great workout, something, if it's anger. If you're carrying some sadness from something in your past, allow yourself to be sad. Let yourself cry. Just turn your attention to these things, what you're feeling, where in your body they're arising from, and just let them flow through you. That's the kind of self-love and self-care that you need to move these things through. Otherwise, it will really fester and just really wreak havoc on your life. And so let's all be mindful of that. That certainly fits my life lately. I've been having some ups and downs, nothing like catastrophic, don't worry. But just, I've been working more into my business and trying to push it along and make it progress. And sometimes we get into like forcing things and they don't, when you do that, they don't work. So I've had some frustration around that lately. Which is part of kind of why I haven't been on as much, because I've just been trying to make everything work. So it's a good message for me, and I hope it's a good one for you to take forward. So now we'll get to the individual readings. Let me just get the cue updated here on your screen so we know who's up next. Now we'll read that off. Leo Moon. You might be new in here, Leo Moon. I'm not sure. I may have forgotten. If you're not new and I forgot, I apologize. And if you're new, welcome to the channel. And for anyone who is in here, again, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, press the notification icon. Oh, there we go. There is also going to get your reading. Oh, this is great. There's some great questions tonight. So just to give you the rundown, in case you can't read it, we're going to start with Misty Potter. Then we have Priscilla, Cool Libra, Speak Knowledge, Braveheart, Leo Moon, and then there, 555. Okay. Well, thanks again there, 555, for joining the channel. I try to do these every week. We were usually doing them on Tuesdays, but we might move it to Thursday. We'll see how it goes. I've got changing schedule and things like that. So, but without further ado, Misty Potter would like their general reading. So let's see what's generally going on for you, Misty. Okay. Oh, I did not update the queue. Okay, well, thank you, Leo, as well as a new viewer and a new sub. Those subscriptions and likes and watch time just fuels me and makes it possible to keep doing these things for all of you, with the hope that we can get some guidance and wisdom and insight into our lives. So, okay, Misty, what's going on with you, Misty? Okay. So, Page of Cups. I'm trying to bring this in a little closer. There we go. Just the card's a little bit bigger. The Fool. Ooh. And Three of Cups. Oh, a lot of cups tonight. A lot of cups. It's going to be a very emotional, very cups-filled night, I sense. And there's a lot of emotion and relationships and romance in the Suit of Cups. So Misty, this is all really sort of beautiful, really nice stuff here, I think. A lot of sort of joyous themes, return to innocence and that sort of thing. So we have some very youthful energy entering into your life. And I sense that there'll be a new or a renewed friendship with somebody. Again, this person, someone's going to enter your life. It may not necessarily be a romantic thing. In fact, I sense that it's not. So it's going to be more like a friendship or an acquaintance, but like a good, trustworthy person. But they're going to bring some youthful energy into your life and some joy and some of that return to the sort of bliss of being young and just, finding laughter and joy in even like the simplest things. They're going to bring that back to your life a little bit more. And with that, this great return to innocence. And this will inspire you quite a bit, perhaps to seek out or begin some sort of new journey in your life. The Fool is sort of the beginnings of new things, new journeys, new adventures. So a lot of great inspiration coming from this person, this young person. And it may not be someone actually younger than you. It might be someone with just a youthful energy. It doesn't have to be someone of a specific age. But it's going to bring you out into this new adventure, some new thing to try out that you're going to do and sort of throw yourself into in a fun and exciting way. With that, and the end result with that will be additional camaraderie, a greater bond amongst friends. So this new person in your life may lead you to some additional friends, maybe into like their circle of friends. but there's going to be some really powerful um, bonds here that come with that. Um, you're going to sort of add some really good people to your community, and you're going to celebrate with them. So a lot of exciting and positive things coming up for you, I think, in this month, the rest of this month. So thank you for that, Misty. And we will move on to Priscilla wants a general love reading. Well, that certainly seems like it's in the cards. No pun intended. Well, every pun intended. Okay, Priscilla. Okay. Excuse me, I have to adjust myself just a little bit here. You're welcome, Misty. Just checking the chat here a bit. Right, Pat? Okay. Okay, Priscilla, here's your love reading. Three of coins. Well, that's interesting. Hmm. Hmm. Well, this is very interesting in terms of a love reading. So what I see here for you is I sense some brewing conflict. It might be already going on, I think. Um, you may not really be aware of it. And what I see here, in this case, the Three of Pentacles, is this kind of feels like maybe a little bit of like gossip type stuff going on surrounding you and or your love life. So if you're in a relationship right now, then this gossip is kind of about you and your relationship. And if not, it's kind of about you, unfortunately. Some folks kind of, again, sort of maybe, talking about you a bit, not in your presence, obviously, and not just talking directly to you about things. And I sense that you are not fully aware of it. Again, this is all kind of in the background, but this bit of gossip folks type stuff, I think, is probably affecting your love life one way or another. So it might be sort of pushing some people away from you because they're hearing this stuff about you, people who might actually be meant to be attracted to you. And I think you're going to get wind of it sooner than later. When that happens, you need to be prepared not to react and get really like too emotional about it. You kind of have to shut this out because if you give into this, then it's going to cause you to make some bad decisions about your love life, who you get involved with, or who you're currently involved with if you are. So this stuff is going to make its way to you through the grapevine. You have to rise above it. You have to sort of blind yourself to it in a way. And that's what the Eight of Swords here is about. And then the Two of Swords is about that discernment. You may have to just choose if these people are really like saying bad things about you. You have to make a real decision about maybe cutting those people out of your life. And that's what the Two of Swords is. And that's going to be a tough one, even though they're saying some not so nice things about you. You're going to have a hard time about sort of creating a boundary with them and just, sort of putting them on the back burner. Um, so there's going to be some conflict around that. But the best thing you can do when this comes to you and when this sort of comes to fruition is to not just give in to like lashing out or sort of retaliating directly back at these people, but you may have to cut yourself off from them and cut them out of your life if they're saying a bunch of toxic crap. So I realize that's not the nicest thing to be coming down the pipeline, but I think if you're aware of it and you're kind of prepared for it a little bit emotionally, you're a strong person and you can navigate this without it really destroying you or sucking up all of your energy or pulling you down into this sort of negative talk that's going around about you, because it's just not true. I have no doubt that you are a wonderful and beautiful person, who absolutely deserves good and wonderful things in your life and good people in your life. So this is an opportunity to kind of see some people show their true face and realize that these aren't the people you want to associate with. So I hope that helps and kind of prepares you for that challenge coming up in the next, I don't know, few weeks, month, or the next bit of time. So and thank you for your request, Priscilla. And we'll just get everything up to date. Let's see. Coming up next will be Cool Libra. We'll add Panya to the list. And Sherry. Okay, Cool Libra. Is your self-help going in the right direction? Well, clearly I'm a big fan of self-help. um, so let's see what is going on with your self-help, your self-development, your personal development, and where's that going? Ah, yes. Candy is predicting the future of Panya's garden. I love it. I agree. As the household psychic, there's a lot of pesto in your future, Panya. So, do love a good pesto. Okay. Sorry, get a little distracted by food. All right, cool Libra. Let's going on with your personal development, your self-help. Oh, there's that Four of Cups again. Okay. So the short answer, cool Libra, is that your self-help, the self-development that you're working on, whatever it is specifically that you're doing right now, is going in the right direction. You're doing quite well. And I sense that really that you're probably doing better than you maybe feel like or think that you're doing, because you're asking this question. So obviously you have a little bit of doubt about, is this working? And this is, as someone who's gone through a lot of personal transformation, personal development, read all kinds of these types of books, follow all these sort of leaders on these things, from Tony Robbins to Eckhart Tolle and Abraham Hicks and all these people. You can kind of fall into a little bit of a trap of like, it doesn't feel like it's working, or like, it's working in moments because it feels good. So like, I'll just use my own practice of meditation, for example. Went through a lot of time where meditation helped me greatly to deal with depression and anxiety. But for a lot of that time in the early days, I had to be meditating to feel better. And as soon as I would stop meditating, because I couldn't just meditate 24 hours a day, I had to do things like work and whatnot. As soon as I kind of went about my regular business, um, that anxiety and depression would creep back in fairly quickly. And so we go through this experience in personal development, and that's what the seven of cups here is about. It's kind of like all these different feelings and stuff coming up and sort of clouding your sense of progress. And so it's causing some doubt. You're moving back and forth throughout your day, the week, throughout the month, sort of in and out of feeling like I've moved forward and I'm making progress and I'm back to where I am. And what I want to tell you is that's perfectly normal. And that doesn't mean that you haven't made progress. You're actually doing a lot better than you think. And part of what might be creeping in here a little bit is maybe some comparison, I sense. So when you're feeling like you haven't made this progress, I think your mind is going towards like comparing yourself to other people. And so you're looking at maybe some of the sort of gurus and teachers and guides that you're following and thinking, oh, well, this person is so calm or so happy or so successful or whatever it is you're trying to cultivate within yourself. And you're comparing yourself to them. And so that is underscoring that doubt in your progress. And the solution to this, the thing you have to move through is understanding a bit that healing, that development as a person isn't really adding to yourself. You're what you're really doing is you're shedding a lot of stuff that doesn't serve you very well, that limits you, and returning to a more natural state of being. In a sense, returning to the sort of untarnished, unhindered, unprogrammed being that you were when you were first born. And that's not to say you're going to go back to like not speaking or not being able to walk, but spiritually and emotionally, it is a return to that innocence. A lot of these themes of innocence this week, which is beautiful, it being the middle of spring. And so this is a call for you to just be mindful of that and maybe give yourself a little grace, um, maybe, you're finishing up and kind of as you finish up this, whatever it is you're doing, the book, the program, the study, give yourself a little break from it. Try to look at your progress, really think back, like, where did I start and where am I at? And be really kind to yourself with that. And give yourself a few days off or a week off from all of this, from the work that you're doing. Because if you're just constantly working and improving yourself, the improvements don't integrate and you go back to, again, you have more moments and more difficult moments of feeling like you haven't made progress. I'm back to where I am. So just allow it to be and give yourself a little break from that, personal development when you're finished with this and let it all just sort of sink in. Do something nice for yourself, reward yourself a bit. Take a little bit of just joy and just something that's fun and comforting to you. And so that's where the universe is leading you with all of this, but you're doing great. So I'm really proud of you and the universe is cheering for you along with the rest of us. Okay. Okay, I saw a few. Let's see here. I have some folks in. So, a whole bunch of pizza. Oh, yeah. Okay. Fire spawn. So, a bunch of new faces. Thank you all for coming in. And just so you know, I mean, some of you might not be new. I may have just forgotten. But whether you're new or not, if you haven't subscribed or liked the video, please do so. Please ring the bell. That does so much to support me and Candy and what we're doing. And if you're able to, if you feel inspired to do so, we do also accept donations. There is a donation link in the chat. So, in fact, let me pin that just so you can find that if you need it. Asking about Sam. So that's something worth mentioning. Okay. Also, we had a deck request for somebody.
Was there?
Yeah, I saw somebody. Someone requested the Phantasm deck, and it already scrolled by. But Candy will go through it and make sure. Oh, Panya, you want the Phantasm deck? Okay. We'll make sure we put that in our notes so that we. And if we get to you and I've forgotten, please just let me know. So, okay, let's see. So, Sherry was last. So we need Fire Spawnable. Just adding everyone to the queue. It's a big one today. This is what happens when I take a couple weeks off. We get a huge turnout. I love it. And thank everybody for coming in tonight. New, returning. I really am recommitted to trying to do this every week. I think we might move it to Thursdays. That might work a little bit, allow me to be more consistent with it. Just the way my schedule and life is lining up. So, cool, Libra, we got you done. Coming up now on Speak Knowledge. Okay, let's see. So, Speak Knowledge. Will I do well starting a YouTube channel or a TikTok channel? Well, I want to help people with advice or wisdom. Okay. Well, that's a great bit of inspiration right there. Speak Knowledge. And generally, I will just off the top of my head, without pulling any cards, and we will pull cards. Go for it. Absolutely go for it. Starting this YouTube channel is probably one of the most rewarding things I've done. After like starting to just read tarot professionally for everyone. So I highly encourage it. YouTube is a great place to be. I think it's better than TikTok in a lot of ways. Without sort of going into a whole lecture about the nature of YouTube versus TikTok or other short form content like Instagram, I've just been very happy with my YouTube experience and being here. So it's great for lives. It's great if you want to record videos, record long form videos, and you want to get into a space where you are providing guidance and teaching people about these things. That long form content, I think, is so invaluable. You just can't get these points across through a 30-second reel. And I mean, I do post shorts to help sort of draw people into the channel, but the real meat of this content are these lives and some of the sort of longer form content that I've been putting up lately. And I have been doing that actually. So please, when you have some time, check out the main page of my channel. I've started a series, a playlist about dealing with overthinking and overanalysis and sort of that analysis paralysis that so many of us get trapped in, where we're kind of always planning things where we want to do something great with ourselves and we never really act on it. We're just sort of always feeling like we have to plan more or prepare better and that kind of thing. And we get really held back with that. It's something that I've struggled with a lot in my life, and a lot of people that I read for also struggle with. So I've started a little series of videos on sort of how to deal with that. And the next one will be coming out probably Tuesday next week. So go check that out when you have a moment. And especially if you are struggling with that sort of overthinking and overanalysis. Okay, so how will your YouTube channel go, Speak Knowledge? Let's see. Ooh, the Empress. Okay. The Ace of Swords and Judgment. Well, very powerful. Some big, big motion here. So as far as your YouTube channel goes, it is going to take time to start building this thing. And I can tell you that from my own experience as well. So the universe wants you to know that this is the kind of thing it is like, in a sense, it's like having a baby. A woman gets pregnant and there's 9 months where that baby is growing inside her. And so the beginning phases of your YouTube channel are very much like that. There's going to be a lot of posting stuff and wondering if it's really working. And a lot of just not getting these big, views, like huge numbers of views and such. A lot of just sort of getting the basics and the beginnings of it going and getting it set up. And there's going to be a little bit of also like not, you certainly want to get the word out to the world. But some advice here from the universe, and I agree with this, is you want to share this when you get this channel set up and you first start. Share it out to people that you know that are going, you think will have interest in your actual topic. Don't share it out to a bunch of friends and family members that you don't think really are interested in this stuff, because they will probably, like, they will subscribe and that will, to try and support you. But what happens is, and this is a very practical piece of advice, is what will happen is because they're not really that engaged with what you're putting up there, they will get notifications from YouTube, but they probably won't really watch your videos or watch them all the way through. And that actually hurts the reach of your videos in terms of the algorithm. So there's this gestation period here with this. There's this time where, like, you've created the thing and you are going to start telling people about it right away. But you want to be selective about who you really share it with. You don't have to hide it from everyone, but you don't need to go out of your way of, again, getting a bunch of people to subscribe who aren't really going to be interested in what you're doing, the wisdom you're sharing, because it's not really about subscribers, it's about engaged people. So there's going to be a lot of trial and error and learning curve with this, and that's the Ace of Swords here. The Ace of Swords is the new knowledge that you're going to gain, and you're going to learn a lot, believe me, doing YouTube, about yourself, about speaking to others, how you communicate, all the nitty gritty of creating and producing video. I mean, there's so much to it. Try to approach it with some excitement. Even, again, if you feel like things aren't turning out exactly the way you want, just don't get overwhelmed. Pick one little thing to improve each week and decide, yeah, I'm going to do it. Even if it's not perfect, we're going to put it up there. It took me a long time with recording video and putting my face out on the internet, where I could do this now, where I just decided today I'm going to go live and I can do it. And and you can ask Candy, and I'm sure she'll answer in the chat. But there's a lot of days of me turning the camera on and clicking live and then shutting it off and being like, I can't do this, or recording videos and just deleting them and all that. So you're going to learn a lot of new skills and things about yourself and all of this. And the final result is this big transformation. And even if you are someone who's already more comfortable with, doing video, putting your face on the internet, and a lot of people younger than myself are more comfortable with this, it's still going to be this transformation. There's going to be this really big transformation, a big breakthrough for you. And it's going to really boost a lot of your confidence and reach in the world and just bring you to a new level as a person and with what you're doing. So absolutely, this is going to work out great, but it's going to be a long process. And there's going to be some times in the beginning where it's uncomfortable, and it doesn't always feel great. But just know that that baby is on its way. And when it comes to you, when it's born, it's going to be a beautiful, life-changing thing. So I hope that gives you some encouragement and some words going forward with that. And thank you again, Speak Knowledge, for your reading and request. And next up, we will move on to, okay, Angel. We got your requests in the queue here as well. So just to get everyone back up to date, let's see. So up next, we have Braveheart, and then Leo Moon, their 555, Panya, Sherry, Fire Spawnable, Selenophilia. I think that's probably, I got that right. I hope so. Little Pink Pearl, and then Angel. And Braveheart has asked for a general reading. I think we'll change it up a little bit. We'll try out, I think, for you, Braveheart, for some reason, the Crow deck seems like a good one. I think we've pulled Crow Tarot for you in the past, but if not, it's a new thing for you. But yeah, we'll get you a general reading. see what is going on with you, what wisdom Spirit would like to share with you going forward here in the month of April. Okay. I think we need to cut these cards. I've seen a lot of crows flying around. I mean, it is spring in that time of year. I've seen a lot of crows building nests and kind of pairing up. And, I think it's, it is mating season, if you will, for all our crows. There's 3 crows right there. There's that 3 of cups again. So, Braveheart, a lot of what I'm getting out of this, a lot of this is about a job or career, or maybe it's school if you're not like full-time employed and you're a student like in college or even like high school or something. It's about this. So it's about the purposeful work that you're putting out into the world. Probably career. You see that through the preponderance of wands here. And so in your career, in your workplace, um, there's some really exciting things that are going to happen. I think you're in a place right now where you feel like you are comfortable amongst your peers. There's some good camaraderie amongst you and other people that you are interacting with in your work. So that could be coworkers or clients if you work for yourself on your own, like a solopreneur. But whatever it is, you are well regarded amongst these people. They are your peers. So there's a sense of like equality amongst these others with you. You're feeling amongst them like we're all good at our job. We're all kind of friendly with each other, but we're all kind of on the same level. There's some great achievement there. And what's coming forward for you, what is going to happen very soon is you are going to be sort of raised up. This looks like it could be some kind of promotion or big step forward in this job or in this career. So you're going to find yourself in a position where you are being put above some of these other people that you see as your friends, coworkers, and peers. And this might be a little challenging for you because they might have some feelings of resentment. And I sense like this is a promotion or moving into like something bigger like that. Or maybe some greater responsibility, new job title. It's hard to say exactly, but you're going to be lifted up and elevated into a higher status in this workplace, in this thing. That'll be a little bit challenging. You're going to feel like maybe you're leaving these people behind. Maybe this is like a management position you're moving into. And so now you have this challenge of like, I have to manage these people who are my friends. I don't want to ruin our friendship, but I have to kind of be their boss now. That really could be what it is. But know that this is what is meant for you. And don't run away from it. Lean into this because this is a step forward for you. This is progress in your life. It's where you need to be headed. And moving into this higher position, into this greater responsibility, is going to propel your job and career forward in a big way. And it will give you momentum beyond even just this promotion. It's really going to sort of launch you forward. And that's where the Knight of Wands is really all about. And the Knight of Wands also is a little bit like tumultuous. It's strong. It's forceful. It's powerful momentum in a forward direction. But it is a horse. It's a galloping horse. So you're going to be bouncing up and down. It could be a little bit of a rough ride. So prepare for that, but don't run away from it because I know and the universe knows that you are ready for this and you will be able to navigate this. You're not going to destroy all your friendships because you got moved up. But again, it'll be a little bit challenging to navigate. So some really good news, some good fortunes for you moving forward just as long as you're ready to rise to that challenge. Welcome in, Patty. I see you. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming in, Patty. It's always great to see you. And yeah, a lot of folks here know you actually. So I did a, and don't worry, Patty, I won't get into what your reading was about or anything, but I just want to say it was an honor to send you a full in-depth reading for your birthday. And I'm glad it was so well received. I didn't get to write back to your email, but I also would like to tell everyone else that if you want a more in-depth reading about any of these topics that you're struggling with or trying to figure out, I do offer in-depth readings personalized just for you. Um, you can you can receive the reading either recorded on video, or we can do it one-on-one through Zoom, face to face. That's a lot of fun as well. And if you're interested in that, the link to order and a discount code is available in the description for this live video or my channel description as well. So you can follow that link if you would like to book or order a in-depth reading. We get a lot more into sort of the energy and situation surrounding you. And so you can gain a lot more clarity on whatever it is you're facing through those. And they're very powerful sort of readings. And I think Patty would probably agree with me. So, but moving on, Leo Moon, you're up next, and you're wondering how will I do with my new job that starts in a couple of weeks. That's a good one. You're welcome, Braveheart. It's always an honor and a joy to read for you and everyone else here. Okay, Leo Moon, what is going on with your new job? Starting in a couple of weeks. Okay, well, this one wants to come flying out. 3 of coins. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, Leo, you will do very well in this job, first and foremost. The 3 of Pentacles is often a card about sort of collaboration and learning. And so I think what this speaks to is as you start this job, you're going to have some very strong training. You're going to have some people around to help you get oriented and acclimated into this new position. And that's really good. That's always a good thing to have when you're starting a new job because, and I've worked in places where they will just throw you into something, even if they know that you have no experience at it. Because you told them that and they still hired you. And maybe the training and instruction's not great. And then you just do your best, but it's not what they want. And all of a sudden it's like, why didn't you do this right? We expected you to just be able to do it. That's not a great situation, but that's not what's going on here. You are entering this new job, and it is the kind of thing in place where they will provide you with some mentorship and training and orientation to really get you going. So that's really good. Now, the High Priestess tells me that as good as it is to have this sort of instruction, I think there's going to be moments in the beginning where, because you're new and feeling uncertain about this place, you might have. I think there's going to be some feelings that creep up as people are teaching you and training you, where they're going to be like, hey, this, you're doing it wrong, and not like in a yelling at you or like an admonishment, but just in an effort to steer you in the right direction to get you doing this correctly. And I think that might be a little bit hard for you. You might have some moments where you're just like, I'm failing, like I'm not doing well. Um, and it's going to make you question, like, can I do this job? Did I pick the right place? It's going to be a little bit challenging in some spots, but know that those people, they're not telling you this to be mean. They're not telling you this to come down on you. They want you to succeed. And so they are just trying to help get you on the right track. And so there's a little bit of introspection here, some looking inwards as to like what's really going on when you're reacting to these things. If you feel yourself having any kind of like strong reaction, where again people are sort of correcting you or giving you some directions, and you're just like, oh man, I'm screwing up. That kind of feelings. Um, give yourself some space to sit with that. If you can't write exactly in the moment, give yourself some time with that when you're, at the end of the day, when this, work is over, when you're at home. But don't just brush it off. Feel into that. Think of maybe a bit about like what are some times in the past where a similar feeling has come up, even if it's something completely different in terms of the situation. Um, some of what's going on there has to do with these past experiences. And so there's a little bit of soul searching that goes with that. And that's going to help you navigate that. And the end result, the Three of Wands, is you're going to feel established, after getting through a little bit of these ups and downs in the first few weeks or month or 2 months. You're going to feel confident and good. And you're going to already be looking out into the world thinking, well, what else could I do? Maybe I could do even better than this. And that's not to say you should just leave this job right away. Give it some time, but you're going to feel very confident and you're going to be like, oh man, I could take on anything. I got through this. So allow yourself to feel through the awkward sort of, beginning stages of this. Just take everyone's advice and tutelage and training from a place. They're coming from a place of wanting to help you, even if it doesn't feel that way at times. A lot of those negative feelings are your own self getting in the way. So don't let that happen. Work your way through that, and you're going to succeed and do really well in this job. So thank you for that, Leo. We're about an hour in, so we're gonna do their five. So we're gonna read their triple fives reading, and then after that, I am gonna take a break. Take a few minutes to try and refresh my voice a bit. And we did get Merlib or Merlibe. I always forget how to pronounce your name, but we have you in the queue as well. So that's wonderful. And thanks everyone again for being here and for all of your reading requests. Okay, their triple five. What does H truly think of me? Yeah, the list is quite full tonight, so let's see. Yeah, if anyone who's not on the queue already is interested in getting a reading, we are getting pretty full, and we're getting to the point where like, we'll get through everyone that's in the list, but I probably won't add too many more after that. So if anyone's in here, yeah, yes, honey, that's why I'm saying that, because I started. Sometimes it helps. Everyone's looking in the chat, so I try to like echo what you're saying. But yeah, thank you, Leo. The feedback is always great. I'm glad that was helpful for you. Okay, sorry there. I always get a little distracted, but here we're doing it. We're gonna do it. What does H truly think of you? And I'm gonna take a guess that H is someone that you have some kind of romantic interest in, or maybe you think they might be romantically interested in you, even if you are not interested in them. But this is some kind of romance related thing, a crush or something like that. And if I'm totally wrong, please speak up in the chat, because that makes it a better reading for you. So Um, but let's see what H truly thinks of you. Okay, what is going on with H? What does H think? Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Hmm. This is very sort of mixed kind of thing. Let's see. I have to really sit with this one for a moment. I think what I sense here is very interesting. So typically, this person H is someone who is fairly even keeled and balanced in their feelings and judgments about other people. And that is true for H in all parts of their life. So whether it's a love interest, whether it's a friendship, whether it's colleagues, coworkers, what have you, they always try to sort of give everyone a fair shake, um, give a balanced look, and not rush too much to judgment about others. And I think in your case, when it comes to how they feel about you, that is sort of failing them in a way. They're having like a lot of very big and profound feelings about you. And to some extent, this is very confusing to them. I think they have some very mixed feelings. So they have a lot of excitement about you. They're they're going through like moments where they're really sort of obsessing about you and crushing on you, and then having other moments where they're like, this can't be. What am I doing? I don't fall for people like that. So they're very conflicted. And this isn't anything really that you've done. This is not a failure on your part. This isn't something that you said that you shouldn't have said to them or anything like that. This is purely their own internal conflict. And so what that tells me is they have some pretty strong feelings for you, and they're probably deep down inside, they're very positive feelings. There's an attraction there. Um, there's a desire to want to spend time with you and that sort of thing. But they're so not used to having like these big feelings sort of crushing hard on somebody, and so it's really throwing them off, and their mind is sort of getting in the way. They're afraid to lean into these feelings, and so it becomes very mixed, and the signals you're getting from this person might be very mixed and confusing at times. But I think they will move through that. I think that will subside, and at some point they really will sort of come hurtling towards you. Here's this Knight of Wands again, this big momentum, this strong powerful motion forward like a horse. And wands are the suit of fire and passion. And in the context of a love reading, they definitely sort of represent someone pushing their attention towards you. So I think they're very conflicted about their feelings. They have very strong feelings for you, they have a big attraction for you, but they're not sure how to deal with them. And I sense that in the next few weeks, maybe a month or so, that's going to sort of break down, and they will get over that and really try to engage with you and decide that they want to pursue you in a way. And so the best thing you can do is to just remain sort of calm and not try to provoke them or try to chase them, because while they're in this indecision, you might end up scaring them away. So you have to let them sort of work through this. Don't be cold to them, but don't go out of your way either to like chase them around. Let things sort of happen naturally. And I think in the future, they will end up coming to you, and they will let their feelings known. So I hope that gives you some clarity there, 555. I hope that makes some sense. Um, that was a little bit of a tricky one. So that does happen sometimes, and that's not you or your question. It's just sometimes the messages from spirit are really concise, and sometimes they're a little, just a little bit sort of garbled or hard to work through. But that's what's going on with age. So, okay. So thank you, everyone. I'm going to take a few minutes break, about 10 minutes or so I can stretch and grab some water and that kind of thing. You're welcome to do so as well. When we get back, we will get to the rest of the folks on the queue. If anyone is not put up a request for a reading, I do recommend you do so now, because we will probably not take many more requests after what we have on the list already. So again, enjoy a little break on me. And again, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, click the bell icon. And if you feel so inspired, feel free to send a donation. That link is pinned in the comments to do so. Everything helps so immensely. So I'll be back in about 10 minutes, and thank you. Okay, I am back. Welcome back, everyone. We're going to get to the second half of these readings. Um, yes, and hold on one second. So yes, we are getting into the second half of this. We're not going to take any more requests. So everyone in the list, including Melons Maloney, I'm going to add you right now. We will get to your readings, but anyone else, this is your absolute last chance to request a reading tonight if you haven't. And that's going to take us through our sort of second hour of this, and then it'll be my bedtime. So, but thank you all for showing up, and I just want to give everyone a chance to kind of get back in the room. And so, coming up in the second half, we will have first up, we'll have Panya, then Sherry, then Fire Spawnable, and then Selenophilia, Selenophilian. After that, Lil Pink Pearl, Angel, Merlib, and Melons Maloney will be the last reading for the night. So we'll just put the little notification up here just so other people know that we will not have any new readings. And let's see here. Give me one moment. And just everyone can get back in. let's see, timers. And we'll just set the chat bot to let everyone know that the readings are closed. Okay. There's that. Alrighty, and let's see. Panya, I just want to make sure that you are around. You're kind of back from the break. I know other people also get up and move around while I'm doing the same. And for right now, I think we'll go with the we'll go back to the rider. All right, Panya wanted the Phantasma deck. See, I almost forgot again. So, Panya, we will get the wonderful Phantasma deck. This is a fun deck, and thank you for choosing this because I just don't read from it enough. Okay, Panya, you're back. Good. I didn't want you to miss it. If anyone does miss their reading, this will be up in its entirety as a replay on the channel, so you can go back and catch it. And I do recommend you check out other videos and things on my channel. Like I said, I've just started if you're someone who suffers with a lot of sort of analysis paralysis of overthinking things, sort of over planning and over preparing, and never really taking action on your dreams, the things that you're trying to do, I have a series of videos that I'm putting up right now on YouTube dealing with exactly that and giving you some ideas about how you can move out of that overthinking and into action, along with some success stories of people that I've worked with, helping them deal with this. So if that seems like anything that you're struggling with, please check that out. I hope you will get some inspiration and insight out of that. So, okay, Panya. So let's see. Your question for the Phantasm deck: am I on the right path with my daily routines and rituals? Well, that's a great question for this deck because this is very much a deck of like that sort of more spiritual woo, as sometimes we say, stuff. It just has this very magical feel to it. So, are you on the right path? Well, here's your cards. Okay. They just flew out. And you got a bonus card. So this is like winning the lottery. Knight of Cups. Page of Cups. Ooh. Okay, Panya. So there's some really cool and really encouraging things here for you. Starting with the Knight of Cups. So it was Knight of Cups, Page of Cups, Six of Wands, and then finally the Empress. These are the cards that flew out of the deck at us. So with the Knight of Cups, I think for you, a lot of your sort of the ideas and attitudes you've had for a lot of your life around spiritual practice, daily ritual, these sort of routines, these self-care things that you're doing, all these things surrounding sort of, again, your more spiritual life and self-care. There's a sense more of like having to like you're always working at it, and not from a place of like it's boring or I hate it, but just if you're not like working at it, then you're not doing it. How can I articulate that a little better? Well, I mean, yeah, just that sense of like you have to be doing a strict practice of something. I have to make sure I have to meditate every day for a certain amount of time, or I'm not doing it. I'm not engaging with it. And these kinds of things do require routine. You do need repetition. You do need to keep going back to them. But sometimes we can discount our progress. We can decide that because I haven't done this in sort of like this perfect way, that I'm not really doing it or I'm failing at it. And so I think in your past, that is something that has held you back a bit with some of your practices and rituals and things. And what you're stepped into, and this is a really beautiful bit of progress for you, is really learning to embrace some of the times where maybe this is inconsistent. To approach this with a little more wonder and joy. And so it's interesting. The Knight of Cups is again like this very like galloping forward kind of thing. There's a strong momentum there. And the Page of Cups is a more youthful, um, and more innocent sort of take on things. So I think what you're coming to and you've stepped into with these practices is approaching them from a sense of joy and curiosity. And so, yes, you are working at them, you are trying to be consistent with them, and it is good to do so. But there's an understanding, you have a better understanding now that there's gonna be a day where you don't do something, where you miss a day of meditation or yoga or whatever the things are that you're doing, or you do the ritual a little different, and understanding that that's okay. And maybe the day that you did that you did the ritual wrong, or quote wrong, wasn't wrong at all. Maybe this was the day that spirit was showing you, hey, this is how this ritual works for you, even if that's not how you learned it. And so continue with that sort of sense of exploration and wonder as you practice these things. And that's going to lead you into these practices changing a bit, but becoming even more effective for you. And even better, the even greater gain out of this is it's going to allow you to integrate some of these practices more into everyday life. So, and by that, I don't mean like, well, I meditate more, but sort of getting into those spaces, the joy, the freedom, and space that you feel through these practices, through the rituals that you're doing, bringing that more into the other sort of more mundane tasks that you that you're doing. So a lot of the joy and space again and feeling of like light, openness and freedom that you get out of this is going to start to come into your daily life, into things that traditionally have not felt so free and open, into things that this is why you started doing these rituals, was to help create that feeling, because these other things like going to work or dealing with certain people or whatever it is kind of pull you down. And so now you're integrating this more. And so I just use meditation as an example, because it's one that I use a lot. Instead of having to meditate every day and only feeling good while you're meditating at home, the that feeling and sort of that groundedness is now showing up when you're doing other things, like you're at work or folding the laundry or whatever it is. These very seemingly unspiritual things become more spiritual, and that's what the Six of Wands is about. The final sort of breakthrough for this is you are, again, here's the Empress. So there's this card of pregnancy and gestation, this sort of growing this thing. You are essentially birthing a new you, a more aligned and happier and peaceful and more prosperous you. And so just stick with this. Keep leaning into the excitement, the curiosity. Allow yourself to experiment with it. Don't get too hung up on being super rigid about your practices. When you get away from them here and there, that's okay. Don't get down on yourself. Give yourself grace and gently return to them and get back to doing them when you kind of slip up. And you really are going to blossom into this even greater person as a result of this. So you're doing really well. The long and short of it is you're doing great. And so just keep going with that and follow those feelings with you. Okay. Okay, Panya, thank you for your request this evening. We're going to stick with this deck for now. I'm feeling some really good energy out of it. So for Sherry's reading, and I think this is a great deck for for this question as well. Um, Sherry asks, my uncle Mickey passed away. Did he leave me anything? Okay. Let's find out. Let's see if Uncle Mickey, rest his soul, left you anything. So, muted. There we go. Okay, Sherry, did Uncle Mickey leave you anything? Well, let's see. The Mentor. Some big transformational cards. So the majors here: Strength and an Ace of Pentacles. So, in terms of sort of, when I read your question, right, and did he leave me anything? So, of course, first thought is like we go to like a will, a material inheritance. I don't sense that Uncle Mickey has left you some like great fortune, some big chunk of money, or some, possessions that are worth a whole pile of money. But I think your uncle has left you something, perhaps in many ways, even more valuable. And so here we have the Mentor. This is typically so this is either the Hierophant or the Emperor. I think it's the Hierophant. So what Mickey has left you is some sort of legacy of some knowledge. Maybe there's going to be I sense there's maybe going to be some kind of personal possession that was left to you. Again, not like this great material thing, like a bunch of gold coins or a pile of money, but some journals, some writings, something that your uncle meant for you to have to give you some wisdom and guidance and inspiration in your life. And so there's some kind of legacy of this person, of your uncle's, again, sort of knowledge and wisdom that is going to be left to you. And it might be it might be a bit cryptic, when you first receive this thing. It might just be like some journals or something that he wrote or something like that. It feels like writing because we see this here with the book and the card, the Mentor. And a lot of what this is about is to help shape your sense of self and what you feel like you can do and what you're capable of. And that's what a lot of this guidance and inspiration is. It's going to be helping you. It's going to help you in some way to understand what your own strength and creative force and passion in the world really is. I think you're in a place right now. I sense that you're in a place where you need to step into that more and take ownership of it because you've been shying away from that in a way. It's like almost like you're afraid of your own strength and power and gifts for some reason. And so whatever this thing is that your uncle has left to you, it's going to make you have a reckoning with this and really stop, kind of stop shying away from it and move towards your own power, realizing your own strength. And then indirectly, that is going to lead you to doing some things that actually bring you some greater abundance and actual wealth. Because that's the piece that you're missing. You can't reach out for these riches, and those riches are going to come through something you actually do. Again, it's not just like you inherited some money from your uncle, but this process of transformation that his sort of mentorship from the beyond now is going to bring you into a place where you can start some new things that will lead you to a much greater abundance and prosperity in your life. And so that's where your inheritance in a way is going to come through. It's not going to be like a direct inheritance, but this lesson, this inspiration, this transformation is far more valuable. It's the kind of thing that's going to allow you to go out and be prosperous and make money and have abundance for yourself, far greater than any sum of money or other material thing that he could have left you. And so that's a beautiful thing to receive from someone that you've lost. I hope that gives you some inspiration going forward, Sherry. Okay, up next we have Fire Spawnable. We're going to stay with this deck. I like this deck more and more every time I use it. So Fire Spawnable says, I'm just curious if Sam has seen what I posted on my birthday yesterday. Okay. And then through a wonderful bit of synchronicity, another person has asked about a Sam as well. And according to Selena Philia, you're not like, it's not the same Sam, or you're not the same person with two accounts. So this will be just how things work, and yeah, it's always funny. There's just an abundance of Sams right now. So first off, though, Fire Spawnable, what's going on with your Sam in your life? Did your Sam see what you posted on your birthday yesterday? And by the way, a happy belated birthday as well to you, Fire Spawnable. I hope you have been enjoying it. Yeah, it's a different Sam. Okay. So interestingly, once I was doing in-person readings at a local establishment. This gentleman comes in. Well, this gentleman he was working in the establishment as a bartender. And I sat down and gave him a reading. He's asking about his love life. And I didn't really know this guy very well. So we talk about it, and it's like, oh, maybe this relationship is coming to an end, and it's time to move on and all that. And then 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later, this young woman comes in, asking me about her career and whether she should follow her career to another part of the country and all that. And then right after I finish reading for her, she goes up to the bartender and they hug each other and embrace. And it's clearly obvious to me that these people were together. And just very interesting, here I am like telling him that maybe this relationship is coming to an end, and then telling her that yes, it is time for you to move on to another part of the country. And I never really found out how all that worked out, but you find yourself in some interesting situations. So this is why we were just wondering about Sam and the other Sam. But Okay, fire spawnable. So, what did Sam think? Did Sam see what you posted on your birthday? Oh, there's the Ace of Pentacles again. Okay, King of Wands. Hmm. There's the Six of Wands again. I swear I shuffled. Well, let's see what that card is. If we need some clarification, we'll flip that one over too, as it came flying out. Hmm. So this is interesting. These sort of kind of yes or no questions with tarot are always kind of interesting to do. And what I'm getting out of this is that I don't think Sam saw what you posted. I don't think it made it to Sam's feed, whatever the platform it is at. Sure. Um, but I don't think I get this. Spirit is telling me that Sam just did not even see it. I don't mean like he scrolled past it, just like scrolling, doom scrolling or something. It never really showed up in Sam's feed. It never really got to him. Um, and yesterday, I think Sam was a bit preoccupied with sort of other things, maybe a bit distracted. And so he just wasn't meant to hear it. And maybe that's for the best because maybe Sam would not have been, would have received what you wrote in the way that you wanted him to receive it or interpret it. Because I sense that Sam kind of was quite, was a bit distracted lately and kind of wrapped up in kind of everyday tasks and more ongoing things, wrapped up more in things about money, material goods, a job, and less concerned about communicating with friends or, you know, I don't know exactly what your relationship is, friends, lovers, or family, but whatever it is, not really concerned with how he's relating to other people. So Sam was definitely kind of in his own world lately. And I get the sense that he didn't really see this. Now, things on social media persist. So let's see what this card says, because maybe Sam will see this. I don't really know. Ah, the Three of Pentacles again. Seen this a few times. So this is always about like people communicating in a group and kind of like sharing things with each other. So I sense that maybe someone else who knows Sam is gonna be like, "Hey, did you see what Fire Spawnable posted?" No, let me go look. So Sam might yet see this. Someone might tell Sam, "Hey, so and so Fire Spawnable posted this thing. This is what it said. Well, you should go check that out." Even if this isn't directly at, you know, what you wrote isn't directly towards Sam, but it might even be about him more indirectly. I'm not sure. So no, Sam didn't see it, but I think someone's going to pull his attention towards this thing, so he may yet see it, and I hope that gives you some direction in terms of like whatever it is that you're trying to communicate or not communicate with Sam and how you're trying to interact with him. So, um, yeah, I think Sam will see this kind of soon. Someone will point and be like, "Hey, check that out." So, not really much else to say about that. Very straightforward question, kind of a great question, but some questions are just a little more, again, sort of clear, and the answers are just very simple, yes or no kind of things. So, hope that gives you some insight. And now on to the second Sam, Selena Philia girl Selenophilian girl. Selenophilian. Okay. So the Sam in your life ghosted you, and you're not sure exactly why, but uh, what does he think of you if he's thinking about you, and will he try to come back or fix anything? Hmm. Okay. Okay. Real quick, I feel like we need a little bit of some Palo Santo here. Just so we don't get our Sams mixed up. I don't want the cards to get our Sams confused. So let's get a little bit of clearing here. Okay. Maybe we won't draw all the exact same cards again. Or maybe we will. Let's see. Okay, well, a lot of the Empress. A lot of the Empress today. A lot of we're kind of growing and gestating a lot of things. Knight of Swords and Two of Cups. So, first and foremost, Empress tells me that, I mean, clearly you've been in communication with Sam up until now. And so you have expressed, you've been in communication, you've been acquainted with each other, regardless of whether you're really deeply involved with each other or not. There's been communication, you've started to understand things about each other. The Empress suggests that Sam is sitting on some pretty strong feelings that he hasn't really been able to fully express. And so that's what this ghosting is about. This is coming from Sam's inability to deal with this confusion. And I wouldn't say confusion, it's really like Sam knows what his feelings are towards you or her. Sorry, not to misgender anyone. Sam could be her, but regardless, Sam's feelings towards you, Sam knows what they are. But Sam is very conflicted about how or whether that you should express these feelings, and whether they're ready to really be honest and open with you about what their feelings are. And they've kept them bottled up. And that's like this, again, the Empress being like this sort of card of pregnancy. So, sort of sitting on these things like being pregnant. It's not time for the baby to be born yet. Baby has to grow until it's ready to come out. And so Sam is not fully reconciled these feelings and hasn't been ready to communicate them. So that's the result. That's why Sam ghosted you. It's nothing you really did wrong or anything like that. Spirit tells me that Sam will be ready though. Like the time is coming quickly where Sam will sort of come back to you and try to fix things and really come back from a place of honesty about their true feelings. Knight of Swords, big sort of, again, big forward momentum energy. So when Sam gets back into contact with you, it's going to be in a big grandiose way. It's going to come kind of charging back into your life, and be like, I'm sorry, this is how I feel, professing love and that sort of thing. The feelings that Sam has towards you are very positive. And the final result of this will be things being patched up, the two of you having some kind of relationship again. It might not be exactly the same as it was. Whatever form that takes, it will be better, though. Either you will be great friends, and in some ways that will be a nicer thing than whatever the relationship was previous to that. Maybe it will be back together in a more romantic way, regardless of what the relationship was previously. But there will be a greater sense of love and connection there between the two of you. So this is going to turn around, and Sam will kind of come back to you in a big way. So be ready for that. Just go about and live your life. Don't try to force that to happen. Let Sam do what Sam needs to do until they're ready to come back to you with this. But it is going to come back, and Sam will try to we'll really, I think we'll try to sort of fix things and patch them up, and be more honest with you. So that's a really nice positive thing for your future here. So thanks again for your request and everyone else's requests. I think at this point, everyone in here still has subscribed, liked the video and stuff. Um, Also, please don't hesitate to share the channel out to your friends. Let them know if you enjoy this, and anyone who likes, who's into tarot and wants to gain some insight into their life. This is such a great way for you to experience that in a kind of a low pressure, uh, in a low pressure way. So for Little Pink Pearl, I think we're going to change it up. We're going to go back to the Rider-Waite deck for these. Just my intuitions, what Spirit is telling me. And Little Pink Pearl asks, is there a coming, unexpected career opportunity coming my way soon? If I'm a teacher, is it something different, something that's not teaching? Okay. Let's get some clarity on that for you, Little Pink Pearl. Oh, and just a shout out again to my wonderful wife and moderator, Candy Hearts Art. She's a wonderful artist. She paints in acrylic and does illustration as well. So feel free to check out her channel if you haven't. She has some really wonderful videos of her making all kinds of different art. And they're just a lot. They're really just really chill, fun videos to watch. Very entertaining. And just a good time. So if you want something to kind of relax to and enjoy, check out her channel too. She's a lot better at this YouTube thing than I am, to be honest. So, okay, Little Pink Pearl, what's going on with your career? Let's cut these cards. I think we need to cut the cards. Okay. Let's see. Knight of Cups. Ooh. Queen of Cups. And Queen of Swords. Very interesting. So Knight of Cups tells me that there is some sort of new opportunity, a change coming for you. And it's one that I think you're going to feel good about. I sense that this will continue. The new opportunity will also be in education. So it's not going to be a complete departure from your career. Like you're not going to leave teaching and go into like finance, or become a banker or something like that. It's going to be a new opportunity within your current career. But I think it's going to push you past the role of just teaching. So it's something, and it's going to show up very abruptly. It's an opportunity that at first you may have some mixed feelings about. But what this opportunity is, it's going to be a position that gives you more leadership. You're going to have more influence over others, other teachers, other people that you work with in this workplace, wherever you're teaching at. So a greater role of leadership, a greater role of influence. And that's going to be that's where the emotional sort of struggle is going to come. This is where the mixed feelings about it are going to come, because I sense that maybe you're not fully in tune with how influential you really are. You have a capacity to lead others that I don't think you fully have recognized in your life yet. And so this is a big piece of growth for you. It will be uncomfortable, but go with it. Lean into that and know that you are capable of doing it. And this is where the universe is leading you, where you need to be for your greatest prosperity and purpose in life right now. So again, it will be in teaching and education, but it's going to be a greater role of leadership and influence. And that's where you're being led to. Okay. And if that doesn't make any sense, let me know in the chat. But thank you for your question, Little Pink Pearl. Okay, and we're going to move on to Angel next. Anything I need to know about my art? Another artist? Great. I read for all kinds of people. I love reading and working with artists and other creatives. And if you've ever had interest in learning tarot, it can be a great thing for creatives. I recommend to people who are artists, writers, etc. Get an oracle deck of some time or a tarot deck. You don't have to worry about like learning how to read and like memorizing the meanings, but like this is a great thing if you're stuck. Like say you're a writer or even an artist and you need some inspiration. You're like, I don't know what to paint next, or I don't know what to write about next. You can get a tarot deck and just pull some cards and just work with like what do the pictures sort of bring into your mind, like you can literally use this as a way to come up with a plot and some characters for a story, or some inspiration for your own next piece of art. You don't really have to be a tarot reader to use this for that. So just a little bit of my advice. I'm a little biased. So what do you need to know about your art? Angel. Well, let's see. Okay, Angel, let's see here. What's going on? Okay. Here's what I get about your art. It's an important reminder, especially as I sense that you're in a phase of like trying to expand your reach with your art, trying to maybe sell more of your art and get it out there more. And always a struggle for all artists to do that. It would be ideal to just make your art as you're inspired and the world would just find it. And not have to be like making YouTube videos and all this stuff to promote it. But the world is such that you have to get the word out. People have to know about your art in order to want to buy it, to see how great it is. You have to share it with the world. And so you're moving more into that. And the reminder here from the universe is this: your highest expression of your creativity comes from when you are in a place of wonder, innocence, and joy at creating. And so maybe, more recently you've entered into a place where while you are creating art, drawing, painting, whatever it is you do, sculpting, whatever it is, it's not feeling as exciting, inspired, and joyful. It's not as freeing for you as maybe it was once upon a time. You need to reconnect with that. So you have to find that childlike innocence. Maybe you need to take some time and play with some different mediums or create some art that isn't as different than kind of the style or subject of what you typically create. Explore something a little different. Maybe even give yourself a really like a little break, day or two off, not try to draw or paint or again, whatever mediums you're using. But whenever you're creating art, you have to get yourself into that space of loving what you create, no matter how it comes out, being excited about it, being curious about it, like Even, if you're drawing something and it isn't quite coming out the way you want, don't get frustrated with it, but just be curious about it. Like, what is this meant to be? Maybe I'm meant to make that mistake. Um, it's that thing Bob Ross always said, there are no mistakes, there are just happy accidents. And that's the creative force of the universe flowing through you. So you have to be in touch with that. And as you lose sight of that and you get wrapped up in, like, I got to sell this art, I have to make art a certain way that people like, worry about pleasing other people with your creation. And that's where the discontentment and um, all of that, just like the bad feelings, that sort of negative, it just sucks your energy down when you get wrapped up in worrying about that stuff. And people feel that, they feel the energy that you embody when you are creating your art. People feel that when they look at your art. And so if it's an energy that doesn't feel good to them, they're not going to engage with your art as much. So you have to be in that place. Now, it's okay. Like, every moment of everything you draw or paint or sculpt or whatever is not going to be like just constant joy. But if on the reg you are really struggling and not feeling good about a lot of what you're creating, then you need to you need to address that and get back to that place. So keep it fun. Stay focused on enjoying your creations while you're creating them, enjoying the act of creating, because that's how you succeed as an artist, really. Okay? We're getting down to the last two tonight. So let's see. We have Merlib or Merlibe. Someday I'll figure out exactly how to pronounce that correctly. But thank you for coming back, even if I've been saying your name wrong. So, and Merlib, is Nicole a possible romantic partner or just a friend? And that's Merlib's question. Love the love questions tonight. It's never a bad time for a romance question. So, okay, what is going on with Nicole and their possibility as a partner? The Hierophant is not really a card about relationships. Let's not take that card for your reading today. Yes, Panya, thank you for that. The Artist's Way is a wonderful resource, especially if you are struggling, with sort of creative block and that sort of thing. I have a copy of it here, and I use it. I've done morning pages at times in my life. Should get back to it. I haven't been doing them lately, but a practice that I will return to. It helped me a lot, and also a great resource for me when I'm coaching others and working with creatives and artists to help them work through their own creative blocks. So that is another facet of this, is that the work that I do is actual, like, coaching people and mentorship. Well, really coaching, I call it. Helping people to work through overthinking, overanalysis, and getting back to that place that I was just describing of, like, creating from the heart, creating from that sense of, like, joy and wonder. So, Artist's Way, a great resource. I totally recommend reading that if you're in that sort of creative block. Okay, but back to Merlib. And is Nicole a possible romantic partner or just a friend? I think we'll cut the cards right there. That felt right to me. Let's see. 10 of coins. Well, there's the 2 of cups. Hmm. So, Nicole Here's the evolution of sort of how your interaction and relation with Nicole is going to go. In the early stages of this, in the beginnings of this. Now, obviously, you are acquainted with each other. You know her name, and you're wondering about whether she could be a possible partner or just friend. I think the way this is going to play out with her, and I do see this progressing, and I do see it going into becoming a romantic relationship, but it's not going to start out that way. So in the beginning, this relationship is going to feel a lot more like a friend, a good friend, someone that you really, can trust and enjoy spending time with and have a lot in common. And maybe you get involved in some activities or helping each other out with some things in life. The 10 of coins here is like the riches of community and others. It's not a card that generally speaks a lot to sort of romance, but it does suggest that will be the beginnings of sort of this relationship. And through that, you will start to realize that you have these deeper feelings. The romantic attraction will grow. I mean, I think there's already some attraction there, but it's going to take a little time of you sort of just spending time together in a more casual way for these feelings to truly blossom, to see them reciprocated to back from each other, and understanding that. And so it'll take some time, and it will blossom into something more serious. And the final result of this will be a very joyful and happy relationship that you will be very content with. And there's really not much else to say about it. I think it's really wonderful, some wonderful prognosis, going forward for the two of you. So this will, over time, blossom into something that is quite happily romantic for you. But it's not going to really start out that way. It's going to take some time. So don't rush it. Don't force things. Let it unfold as it needs to. This time, the early stages of this are going to help build a good foundation for a strong relationship, as opposed to just throwing yourselves at each other, and then realizing, like, I don't know this person the way I thought. That friendship that this begins with is going to make this very strong and a very happy relationship for both of you. So just stick with that and don't rush it. Thank you, Merleve. And finally, we're on to the last reading of the night. Hopefully, before I lose my voice. Melons Maloney. And I recognize your name from last, a couple weeks ago, I believe. So welcome back. And real quick, I will remind everyone again, if you would like to explore any of these topics or questions in your life in a more in-depth and more powerful way, I do offer more expanded, in-depth readings. They're personal, one-on-one. You can either have it pre-recorded on video and sent to you privately if time is a factor, or the best way to do it is through Zoom. I offer them one-on-one through Zoom. You get to see your cards and me just like we do here, but we can go back and forth and have some interaction, and clarify things more and kind of tackle things more. So if that interests you at all, there is a link to book those readings in the description for the video or in my channel. And along with that, there is a code to save 33% off your reading. So that's a great way for you to book one. And I do have availability the rest of this week and going into next week. So something that I strongly encourage you to do if you need a more in-depth understanding of what's going on. That being said, thank you all for showing up tonight. And Melons, here are all your cards. Everything's just flying out of the deck. It's going to be that kind of night. And you got like all the cards. So you got some bonus cards. We're doing 5 cards for you, Melon. The universe is just shining on you tonight with this. So let's see here. How will your book go after you release it? I'm fine tuning some things and trying to make sure it's the right direction. It's to help people. I'm writing a small book. Okay. So this is going to be this book. This is going to be a bit of a roller coaster for you. I'll be perfectly honest. And we see that because we begin with the 5 of coins and we kind of progress through these things. Let me be nice if you could see them all. Okay. Um, okay, so in the beginning, when you first put this book out here, when it's first done, and even though you've taken time to promote it, tell people about it, get them excited, it's not going to be this, you're not going to have this big initial like explosion. It's not going to be like this viral thing. It's going to be the beginning of this, the launch, the first release is going to be very challenging for you emotionally because it's going to feel like it's not being well received. The continuum of this is this book eventually will be very well received. People will read it and love it and talk about it. And it'll be a really great thing to the world, but it's going to take time. It's going to go out there. So you're going to go through some phases with this. The beginning, there's going to be some heartbreak with this. You're going to feel like, oh, I wrote this thing. It's great. Why aren't people catching on? You have to keep going. In fact, I would say don't get too hung up on trying to tweak this book too much. The only tweaks you need to make is to really sit with like, did I write this from the heart? Is this the highest and most authentic expression of myself in this book? And is it the most honest expression of my ideas? So you're going to go through some heartbreak with this in the beginning. That's going to be really hard. What you'll need to do is you're going to need to step into the energy of the hermit here. So that's going to require you to detach a bit from the day-to-day sales and responses, the day-to-day response to your posting and whatever you're doing to promote the book and get word out there. You can't get too hung up on any given day on like, well, no one read this post, or I didn't, get a bunch of sales from speaking about it in this event, or whatever you're doing. You have to just keep working at it. It's going to take some time. So you have to detach from the results a bit and be like, it doesn't matter that much whether this thing blows up today or not. I know what I did is good. And that's the strength that you're going to learn from this. You become more detached, and that gives you that strength to keep going and not give up on this creation of yours, to continue loving it and nurturing it and putting it out there so that people get word about it, because it is powerful and people are meant to read it, and it's going to help people and they're going to love it. It's just going to take a long time, longer than you'd like, for it to catch on. You need to go through this growth for it to catch on, because you have to embody that energy that is going to attract people to the book. And so the final results of this are the Queen of Wands and the Magician, where you're stepping into that more influential energy. You're growing into that regal queen ability to sort of attract people into this thing and get the word out. And then the final phase of this is you really realizing how powerful you are, that you have the ability to write a book, put it out there, have it help people and change people's lives and influence them in the way that, in a good, beautiful way, and to truly express yourself in an honest way. And so it will succeed and you will get there. And it is going in the right direction. Don't overthink it. Just be prepared to work through the early stages of promoting it. And there's going to be a lot of days where just like it feels like no one's really interested. Um, I know that's not the most exciting or wonderful thing to hear, but that is how it will go. And if you stick with it, it will take off. When I started reading tarot professionally, there were many days where I would go to my tarot reading gig in town. I would set up shop. All kinds of people would come into the store I was reading at, and I wouldn't get any readings. Um, and I had to just keep showing up and doing it. And yes, I tweak things along the way. I get more signs out and try to promote it and do different things. Um, but you have to just keep showing up and sticking with it. And that energy compounds over time. It's like saving a few dollars every day or every week or every month. It adds up, and eventually it pays off. So you're in for the long haul, but you're going to get there. This book is going to have the effect you want it to. So thank you for that, Melons. Thank you everybody for showing up this week. I am absolutely committed to doing this again next week. I'm thinking we might move them to Thursday, but just make sure to subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell. Click the bell notification icon so that you get notified when I go live. And also, you can find me on social media. All those links are in the description as well. And so I always do try to announce these lives on Facebook, um, in my email list, and other places that I am on the internet. So you can follow me in any of those places as well. And you can also get a lot of interesting other bits of content and things that I post. So I hope you all have a beautiful week. Thank you all again for showing up. And I love all of you.